Shri Gurubhyo Namaha children. Welcome to our online teaching academy, Ekalaiva. As per your Cbse syllabus, 11th standard is concerned, we are going to discuss a new high-level language called as your Python. In this session, we are going to discuss how to start with your Python and what are the advantages, disadvantages, how we are going to install your Python and how we are going to work in Python language. Getting started with Python. Python is a high-level and interpreted and general-purpose dynamic programming language that focuses on the code readability. The syntax in Python helps the programmers to do in fewer steps as compared to Java or C++. The language founded in the year 1991 by the developer GUIDO van ROSSUM has the programming easy and he made it to fun. Here's the GUIDO van ROSSUM. Python was created by GUIDO van ROSSUM, who was a Dutch person from Netherlands in the year 1991. GUIDO van ROSSUM created when he was working in a National Institute of Mathematics and Computer Science in Netherlands. He started implementing it from 1989 and finished and released it, the working of Python in the year 1991. He named the Python, that is, he was a big fan of Monty Python Flying Circus, a comedy show broadcasted in BBC from 1969 to 74. Python has been influenced with two programming languages. One is your ABC, the other one is your Modular 3. Python has some advantages. It is easy to learn, that is, it is compact, easy to use, and it is programmer friendly, and it has simple syntax rules, and it is expressive language. It has fewer lines of code and syntax, which means that it is very easy for us. It's a programmer friendly. It contains only fewer lines of code. Interpreted. It makes Python easy to debug language and suitable for the beginners. It is completeness. All types of required functionalities are available in the form of modules in Python. It is a cross-platform, that is, you can run with variety of platforms like Windows, Linux or Unix, or in a Macintosh. Free and open source. It is freely available along with your source code. You can download and you can work. Variety of usage or application. So many, it can be used for scripting and it can be used for web development or web applications or game development or database applications. Like these, Python can be used. And it has some disadvantages also. Not fastest language. As it is being interpreted, it is not being compiled. That is, it is the errors. The debugging will not be done here. It directly converts here the interpreter. That is, the language is being converted to a binary format. It is not being compiled. So that's why it is not that much fast when compared to other languages that use the compiler as a language processor. Lesser libraries than C or Java or Perl. That is, Python offers library support for almost all computing programs, but it is not a competent with C or Java or Perl languages. It is not strong on type binding. Python interpreter is not strong on type binding, which means that we don't have any further data type because the objects are being referenced in your for the variable, so it is not strong in your type binding. It is not easily convertible as it has simpler syntax or the lack of syntax. It cannot be easily converted to the other formats. Working in Python. Python is a free and open source software that works on even in Linux, Mac, Windows and various other platforms. That is totally 21 platforms it can able to work. It comes with pre-installed on Mac and most distributions of Linux. There are multiple Python distributions are also available. So what is Python distribution? Python distribution is a software bundle that contains Python interpreter and standard libraries, right? So it is a software bundle. It contains your Python interpreter for checking your errors, to convert your code to the binary coder system, and it contains much more library functions in your Python. Installer programs for common operating system also it has. So how can you download it? Go to the website www.python.org, and which we call it as a CPython, which is a default installation in your system. Apart from that, we have many other interpreters, that is Python IGLE and Pig packages and Python interpreter all comes along with your default package. This is how you have to install your Python. You have to go for the website www.python.org. Then you have to go for the downloads to download it in your system. And Python has two basic modes of working in your Python. One is your script mode, the other one is your interactive mode. In script mode, the normal mode is the script mode where scripted and finished with .py files are run in a Python interpreter. In your interactive mode, it is a command line shell which gives intermediate feedback for each statement while running previously fixed statements in an active memory. So what is script? A script which is nothing but it is reusable. That is, we are going to store our source code. That's why we call it as reusable. A script is a text file containing the statements that comprise your Python programs. Once you have created the script, you can execute it over and over without having to retype it each time. Scripts are editable. So how we are going to invoke this script? See, this is your script mode. We have to go for a file and new window or new file. A new file gets opened where you can type the scripts or your source code of your program. Then you have to save your file with an extension .py. So we are saving the file with an extension of .py. And after once you have completed, you have to go for a run, that is to execute the commands or the statements that you have given in the file. Go for a press F5 or click on the run. Right. Now we'll see how to work with your Python. Right. So this is once we have opened your Python, this type of screen you will be getting. So here this working method, which we call it as an interactive method, which means whatever the commands that we are passing to the interpreter, immediately you will get the results. Let me print a statement called as find print of hello. Right. So if I click on the button or enter button on the cells, immediately I'm getting this output as hello here, right? So immediately I'll get the result of it. I'm not storing my commands through the interactive mode, right? So interactive mode in the sense I'm getting the commands immediately. I'm getting the results immediately. If I want to work in a script mode in the sense, I have to go for a file, go to a new file, a new window gets open. There you have to type your commands or your statements. So now I'm going to type the commands. Welcome to Python language. Right? After once you have completed typing your statements in the sense, you have to go and save your file. Control S. And you have to give a file name, example dot with an extension py. All your files should be saved with an extension of .py. Once we have saved, here we have a menu called as run, or you can press F5 button to run your source code. Right? So once you have run executed your source code in the sense, the statements that we have given there is print statement. So we are getting the result. So the difference between interactive mode and your script mode in the sense, in your interactive mode, you cannot able to store the source code or the statements that you have given. Whereas in your script mode in the sense, we can store the source code, or it can be editable and it can be reconstructed, everything you can make it. Thank you, children. To receive our online lessons, please press the subscribe button and you will receive the latest updates.